Once upon a time, people used to say that if wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if character is lost, everything is lost. And today things have changed a little bit. We kind of start thinking that if character is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. If wealth is lost, everything is lost. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, wealth is important, but health is everything. Character is everything. Our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our social health, our spiritual health, our holistic health, our holistic wellness is extremely crucial and extremely important, because how well we are in terms of our health defines and decides the experience of happiness, the experience of joy that we all have in our lives. Imagine yourself on a fantastic holiday in Maldives. And if you're there on the shores of the ocean, lying on the soft sands of the beach in Maldives, and you have some physical ailment, let's say a stomach upset, or let's say a high fever, you're not going to be able to experience happiness and joy simply because your health is not right. Imagine if your mental health is not right. Imagine if one is in a state of severe depression. Imagine if one is severely anxious, stressed. Imagine if one is feeling severely lonely, left out. Imagine if one is messed up in the mind. One could be in the best holiday location. One could be on this beautiful beach, lying down in the fantastic soft sands, looking at the beautiful aquamarine waters of the ocean, looking at the beautiful blue sky, but still not experience that joy, experience that happiness. You know why? Because the mind is not together. If our physical health is not right and not in place, we can't experience happiness. If our mental health is not in place and not right, we cannot experience happiness. If we want to experience true joy, if we want to experience true happiness, if we want to perform well in whatever it is that we are doing, we need to keep our health in place. We need to keep our physical health in place. We need to keep our mental health in place as well. But we talk a lot about physical fitness, but we sadly do not talk so much about mental fitness. Don't they say we kind of end up spending our health to gain so much wealth, and then we have to end up spending all our wealth to regain our health back again. It's so important, therefore, to pause, to prioritize, to wait a little bit. Yes, wealth is important. Yes, growth is important. Yes, success is important. Yes, achievements are important. Yes, going up the corporate ladder is important. Yes, getting up there, fulfilling your ambitions, fulfilling your aspirations, fulfilling your dreams is important. But we can do it all properly, happily, with satisfaction, if we also pause and give attention to and prioritize our mental health as we prioritize our physical health as well. And therefore, don't they say, where attention goes, energy flows. If you decide to lose your weight physically, you need to give attention to it, prioritize it. Where attention goes, energy flows. You start doing it. We want to prioritize. If you want to keep robust mental health, we need to give attention to it. And when attention goes, energy flows. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, on this World Mental Health Day, I would like to make an appeal to all of you attending this session and everybody who will probably be later watching this video. Please, please, please give great importance to your mental health as well. When it comes to our physical health, we go for a routine checkup. Sometimes a bi-monthly, a quarterly, or a half-yearly, or a yearly checkup to see if our cholesterol, our sugar, our vitamins, all the other elements and aspects of our body are functioning right. But when it comes to our mental health, there's no routine checkups. Mental health के लिए कोई routine checkup नहीं, हम लोग किसके पास जाएंगे? And when I say routine checkups, it's not that we necessarily need to go to a mental health professional or a therapist to get a routine checkup done. Yes, if we are traumatized, abused, and if the things are very severe, we need that too. We can ourselves do a regular routine checkup to see if our mental health is in place. What are the aspects to check if our mental health is in place? Number one, we all feel low, guys. We all feel depressed. We always hit rock bottom at times. But if we can bounce back, if it doesn't go into a state of chronic negativity, if we can bounce back, if we can come out of that negativity, if we can come out of that depression, if we can come out of that hopelessness, if we can come out of that low phase that we are going through inside our minds, our mental health is in place. We are doing good. हम सबको लो लगने वाला है, हम सबको डिप्रेस लगने वाला है. एक ने इंसान है भाई, मशीन नहीं. We are human beings. We are not machines. And because we are human beings, we are going to feel low. You're not going to feel great all the time. You're going to feel low. You're going to feel rubbish. You're going to feel trash sometimes. It's fine. But as long as you can come back, as long as you can bounce back, the quicker you bounce back, the earlier you can come out of it, that's how well you are doing in your mental health. What is another parameter to see if my mental health is doing well? If I'm confident, if I feel confident, if I feel hope, if I feel positivity. नेगेटिव तो लगता ही है, वरी तो होता ही है, स्ट्रेस तो होता ही है, प्रेशर तो होता ही है, एग्जाम डेडलाइंस, वर्क डेडलाइंस, टारगेट्स टू मीट. Goodness me, we are humans with a machine, and one of the parts of the machine is the mind. So we're going to feel this, and that's okay. But if you're going to be constantly stressed, 24/7, all months of the year or several weeks at a time to really pay attention to see if our mental health is in place. If I'm worried, normal ना, मेरी शादी होगी क्या, वो लड़की मेरे प्रपोजल को मान जाएगी क्या, मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगा क्या, मुझे ये जॉब मिलेगा क्या, मैं एग्जाम में पास हो जाऊंगा क्या, मुझे मेरा बिजनेस अच्छा चलेगा क्या. That worries could be there. But if you're not going to be worried all the time, you're doing good in your mental health. What's another parameter to check if your mental health is in place and it's doing fine and it's going good? How are your interpersonal dealings? Yes, some of us are introverts and we may speak less. Some of us are extroverts and we may speak more. Introverts may not express themselves as much. Extroverts may be extremely expressive and all the time going around and making new friends and connecting to a lot of people and networking, and introverts might not be able to do it all that much. That's okay, that's a nature trait. But are we comfortable being with people? Or do we want to lock ourselves up? Do we feel lonely even in the midst of hundreds of people around? If I find myself lonely when I'm with my family, if I find myself lonely when I'm with my friends, if I find myself lonely when I'm with my colleagues, if I find myself lonely when I'm dealing with so many people around, I think it's time to look at our mental health, guys. बहुत जरूरी है देखना कि फिर कुछ तो seriously wrong हो सकता है. So yes, we don't have to go for a routine checkup to a mental health professional, a therapist, or a psychiatrist or a psychologist unless we have serious issues. In a general case scenario, we can do a routine checkup ourselves. डिप्रेशन होगा, नेगेटिविटी होगा, वरी होगा, थोड़ा लोगों से भी हम लोग कभी कभी डिस्कनेक्ट करते हैं अपने स्पेस के लिए. बट एज लॉन्ग एज द रिलेशनशिप्स आर रेगुलर अगेन, एज लॉन्ग एज वी कैन बाउंस बैक अगेन, एब्सोल्युटली फाइन, गाइस. So don't start thinking my mental health is a problem just because I feel low. If you can come back out, no problem. But if you can't, let's take that taboo away. And it's important that we consider our mental health like our physical health as well. It's important that we, like for our physical health, we go to a professional doctor, therapist, fitness professionals. It's also crucial for us, for our mental health, then to look at some expert professional help to sort out the issues that we go through in our minds. But once again, a loud shout out to our Instagram community, Annie Optimistic, Rajan Mehra, Ragini Singh, a wellness coach. Thank you for joining us, Siddharth Chavan, Sindhu Pradesh. Very, very glad that you're here. Gautam Goswami, it's unique. Prince Paul, Hello there, Triptified. I like that. Triptified. Datta, thank you, thank you. Poonam Vish, thank you for joining our Instagram community. Lovely community. Ritik, Sharan Singh, I'm so happy you guys are here. Lovely Facebook community. Arpita Ghosh, Sayyid Faizan, thank you so much for joining. Sunil Kumar, Sunil Panda, Aruna Rajaram, Apurva Barot. So happy that you're here with us this evening. Amma Chaudhary, thank you again for joining. Shobha Verma and Shilpi Rani, thank you. I'll once again call out a few names as we continue our live session for this evening. But like I said, let's start treating our mental health with as much importance as we treat our physical health as well. Shall I say not as much importance, but more importance? Because even if the body is a little ill, but the mind is sound, we can still take a lot in our stride and move on. Didn't John Milton say, mind by itself can turn heaven into hell and hell into heaven. We may be in the heavenliest situation and think it's hellish if the mind is messed up, and we may be in the hellishest situation and think that it's heaven if the mind is together with us. So I would like to share a couple of my thoughts this evening on how to maintain robust mental health. अपनी mental health को सही तरीके से कैसे बनाए रखे. And I'm going to talk on similar lines as maintaining physical health, guys. And there are 4 things that I really want to talk about. Number 1, when we're talking about our physical health, it's very, very crucial that we do not allow unhealthy people to come into our space. If you are surrounded by and in the company of unhealthy people, unhealthy habits, unhealthy influences can come onto you as well. If they are infected, they will infect you. Whilst we were going through COVID, we knew that we were staying away from positive people. Not for the first time we were staying away from positive people. Why? Because that COVID could come on to us. And like we keep a distance from people who are not healthy so that we don't catch that disease, it is very, very crucial to maintain good mental health, to draw our boundaries very clear. हमारी lines और boundaries बहुत clear होनी चाहिए. We should allow only those people who are good for our mental health within that boundary. We should allow only those people who cast a positive influence on us, create a positive aura around us, create a positive impact on our mind, our mental health, on our inspiration, on our internal spirit. We should allow those people in our space. We should allow people who are well-wishers. We should allow people who are genuinely concerned about us. We should allow people who love us. We should allow people who are genuinely concerned about our welfare, and not people who are very negative, who are jealous, who are envious, who, as some people term them, are called energy vampires. We shouldn't allow such people to enter into our space. You know why? Because they will affect our mental health. I hate branding people as toxic. I don't like to call people toxic, because whether their intention is to affect us in a negative way or their intention is not, and because of nature they do it, we don't want to call anybody toxic. But if the influence of such people on our minds is toxic, we need to keep them outside the boundary. We need to keep them at the bay. अगर किसी भी इंसान का हमारे mental health पर toxic प्रभाव पड़ता है ना, तो ऐसे इंसान को दूर रखना चाहिए. Why should we live with toxicity? Why should we live with negativity if someone's casting that influence on us? Some people are like that, intentionally or unintentionally, and they may not be so for others, but for us, if they are people like these, it's very crucial and important that we keep them at a distance. Keep safe distance. Some people ask me, but Prabhuji, Guruji, when at our workplace, sometimes such people are in our family. Sometimes such people who make our mind so toxic by the way they behave, by the way they speak, by the way their energy is, by the way their neck aura is. They just make us so toxic. Such people could be within our family. Such people could be within our work circle, our colleagues, at our workplace. Such people could be in our friend circles and social circles. What do we do then? maintain a high-hello relationship. You don't need to necessarily cut off from people unless they are really, really, really completely negative and you just cannot connect, and it's required, we need to. But in most cases, we don't need to completely cut off. When do such people start making us toxic or start affecting us in toxic ways? When we take them within that boundary. Keep them at the safe distance. Keep them outside that boundary. Do the needful. काम करा लो, काम कर लो साथ में, जो भी है वो कर लो. जितना जरूरी है उतना इंटरेक्शन तो दुनिया में रखना ही पड़ता है जी. But you have to know, when do people actually start influencing our minds? When we start spending time with them, when we start hanging out with them, when we start sharing our hearts with them, when we start speaking the intimate things of our hearts with them, when we share a lot of meals with them. That's when they start getting into our minds. As long as we don't do these things, we are good to go by doing the needful. So the first principle, guys, of keeping good mental health is stay away from those people who are bad for your mental health. Stay away from those people who affect your mind in negative ways. Stay away from those people who make your minds filled with toxicity and negativity. Do the needful, work with them, but don't get close and hang out with them. The influence on your minds will be extremely negative. Draw your boundaries clear and see who should be within the boundary, who should be just at the boundary, and who should be outside the boundary. You decide that for yourself. If you want to safeguard your mental health and if you want to keep your mental health robust and going well and healthy. The second principle that I wanted to talk to all of you about, before that a couple of shout outs on Instagram. 786 Guncha, Vignesh Hariharan, Minty, Manu, thank you for joining. Chaudhary Dushyant Panwar, Manu Kushwa, Krishna Uribindi, hi Guruji Garu, Krishna Garu, hi there. I like calling Garu. Vinay Thakre, Poonam Vish, Unfix Your Feelings. Oh, thank you for joining. Unfix Your Feelings. Me, Sandeep Pathak, just joined us, and Mr. GP, Hare Krishna, Rohan Chaudhary, Arjun Dubey, and Satish Basavaraj. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, unfix your feelings indeed. Boundaries are definitely self-care. 100% we need to draw our boundaries if we need to. Braj Bihari Prabhu, thank you for being there. So happy that you're here. Ananya, I'm so happy to see you here, Ananya. So good that you've joined us this evening. Hopefully we can see each other very soon as well. Sangvi Rushali and Stolen Queen, thank you very much for being with us this evening. And here on our Facebook page we have Aki and Pooja Nagar, Nitin Khadigaonkar, Sunanda Bhattacharya, Urvesh Karnik. Thank you so much for being with us. Sushmita Mainali and Shua Chakrabarti. So glad that you're with us today. Nisha NK. हाँ मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बोलता हूँ कभी कभी बीच में. Surely थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बोलूँगा जरूर. Dinesh Parmar, Rupna, thank you for joining. Sarboni Mukherjee, very glad that you're with us here this evening. Thank you for joining again. The second aspect that I wanted to talk about is this. For physical health, we keep unhealthy people away. First point. Similarly, for our mental health, we should keep those unhealthy people who make us toxic away. The second principle. For good physical wellness, physical fitness, we regularly practice yoga, weight training, jogging, whatever the variety of exercise is. Exercise is an important aspect of keeping good physical health. Guys, every day in the morning, for about 45 minutes to an hour, I try and give time to my physical exercise as well. All of us who want to stay physically fit will give attention and time to our exercise regimen, to our exercise routine. Important. It is also important for our mental wellness and mental health that we have some exercise. To keep our physical body active, to keep our physical body and all the muscles in shape and working, there's physical exercises. To keep our mental muscles working, to be mentally active in the right way, there's a great need that we have mental exercises as well. फिजिकल एक्सरसाइजेस के लिए हम जिम जाते हैं दोस्तों, मेंटल एक्सरसाइजेस के लिए कहां जाते हैं? क्या करते हैं हमारे मेंटल हेल्थ मसल्स को सही तरीके से फिट रखने के लिए? क्या करते हैं जिससे हमारे मेंटल मसल्स बने रहें, शेपलेस नहीं हो जाए, वीक नहीं हो जाए, एट्रोफाइज नहीं हो जाए? What do we do to keep them going? When I talk about mental exercise or mental fitness in terms of keeping our mental muscles active and going, here's a few things that we must do. Number one is make sure you channelize your mental energy into something constructive, something fruitful, something meaningful. It could be learning a new skill, it could be learning a new language, it could be giving your mental energy, your mental space and all your mental resources to your passion. Identify what your passion is. If you can figure out what your passion is and give that, we have our mental energy, we have a lot of mental energy. If we can channelize that mental energy into something constructive, remember, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. If our mind is idle, it's going to play a lot of games. Of course, there are people who have serious issues and we should be very sensitive in speaking about these things. When people do have serious issues, they need, in spite of engaging in giving their mental energy to anything constructive, still it might not be as easy to deal with our issues internally. Once again, do not hesitate. Approach a therapist, approach a psychologist, approach a psychiatrist, approach a mental health professional, whoever it is, whatever is required to sort out those issues. But in a general case scenario, yes, it is very, very important to channelize our mental energy. Like we channelize our physical energy in strength training, we channelize our physical energy in acrobatics, we channelize our physical energy in athletics, we channelize our physical energy in gymnastics, we channelize our physical energy in yogic postures, we channelize our physical energy to keep our body fit. We need to channelize our mental energy to keep our mind fit. Learn something, give your energy to your passion. And a very important aspect as well is to also try and see if we can channelize our mental energy towards a purpose. Whatever that is for you, to help, to serve, to be able to do something for others. The mind is peaceful. The mind is peaceful. The mind is calm. Our mental health is robust when that energy is channelized for a purpose. So passion and purpose, give that energy there. Our mental muscles will remain active and fit as well. That's the second point. Coming to the third and the fourth, and we'll end very soon. Don't want to keep you for too long, guys. Jaswinder Kaur on Facebook, Lalita Sevkumar, Parul Puri, Maya Kuntla, Venkata Ramesh, Preetam Bishwas, Chanchal Mandal Maji. Thank you so much for joining this evening. Nidhi Kukruja Arora, Sporsh Banik, Hare Krishna, Choyon Deb, Minal Mujumdar. We're so glad that you're here with us this evening as well. Thank you for staying with us for this Facebook Live session on the occasion of World Mental Health Day. And here on Instagram, Vaibhav Kundra, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Ajay Vaityanathan, Achiever, Praful. Oh, Praful, thank you so much for joining. So much looking forward to see you, Praful. Your Chaiwala business is incredibly well, doing well, and I'm really, really eagerly looking forward to chatting with you soon. Hopefully we can catch up soon someday here in Mumbai. Whenever you're here in Mumbai, do let me know. Oh, Vaibhav, thank you so much. You're very kind. Thank you for your kind words. Ankita Pandey and Shobit Shekhar, Meenal Mittal. So glad again that you're here with us. JSD Sonu, Hare Krishna, Vishal Sunigra. Thank you. I can keep chanting and calling out your names, but 2 more points to go, and I'm just going to quickly wind up the session by chatting about these two. The first two, do remember, number one, it's very, very crucial and important that for our physical wellness or physical fitness, we will keep people who are not healthy and who can infect us away. Similarly, for our mental fitness and our mental health, we should keep such people who influence us negatively away as well. Number two, like for our physical fitness, it's important to channelize our physical energy to stay fit in any form of exercise, for our mental fitness, it's very important that we channelize our mental energy in something constructive, following our passion, our purpose, or just a skill, or a language, or any hobby, whatever. Channelize the mental energy. Let the mental muscles work well. Here's the third thing. For our physical fitness, guys, isn't it very crucial and important that we get good sleep? Sleep is such an important aspect of staying physically fit. You can do exercise, you can stay away from unhealthy people, but if you don't sleep well, you still are not physically healthy. अगर हेल्थ सही रखनी है तो सोना पडता हो. आपली प्रकृती व्यवस्थित ठेवायची असेल तर झोप झाली पाहिजे ना. संगीता करेकरजी सेइंग प्लीज गिव डिस्कोर्सेस इन मराठी, देयरफॉर दैट वन मराठी लाइन इन बिटवीन. कधी कधी थोडं मराठीत बोलतो मी असं लाईव्ह सेशन once in a while, but not everybody can understand Marathi, so need to keep it going in the right way, right? Yes, so sleep is very crucial as well, guys. सोना चाहिए ना. 6 घंटे से 8 घंटे की नींद तो होनी चाहिए कम से कम. 6 to 8 hours. I know people who sleep for 10, 12, 14 hours. 10 hours, 14 hours. God, it's been a while that I haven't slept for that long. God, I can't sleep like that for 10 to 12 hours. I did the day before yesterday. I must confess. मी 10 तास झोपलो, 10 घंटा सोया मैं. But I was taking a certain medication. Suddenly I got a vertigo attack. I don't know why. Suddenly, it's a vertigo thing, and therefore they had to put me on some medication which just put me to sleep. So 10 hours after 26 years, guys. I slept for 10 straight hours after 26 years. Can you imagine that? But yeah, for those of you who can sleep like a log, for those of you who can sleep like a stone, for those of you who can sleep like Kumbhakarna, my salute, my respects, my pranams, my namastes. I envy you guys. Not that I sleep that bad, but I would like to sleep like an absolute stone for 10 hours some days, at least once in a while. So I need some blessings of those who can do that. Sleep is very crucial, isn't it, for our physical health? And sometimes we know that we are physically lying in bed and sleeping, and we are kind of half asleep, drowsy, but the mind is very active. मैं एक बात बोलूं आपको, कई बार हम लोग सोए रहते हैं बेड में, लेकिन हमारा माइंड एक्टिव रहता है. If there's too many thoughts going on in the mind while you're sleeping, if the mind is super active, if the mind is super dreamy all the time, when you get up, you're really not rested. And please take note of those days when you've not slept enough and your mind was so active in the night, not rested well, you're irritable the next day. You can't concentrate, you can't focus, you're irritable. नींद नहीं होती ना तो ये सब होता है. और इसीलिए एक बात बहुत जरूरी है दोस्तों, दिमाग है ना, ये स्विच है ना अंदर का माइंड का, वो बंद करना पड़ता है सोते समय. If the mind is active constant, look, there are certain things that will come up in a dream, you don't have choice over that, you don't have control over that. But there are certain things that we can do to sleep in a way that thoughts are not going on the back of the mind as we are sleeping. And one thing to do is to not put our mind into the mode of thinking before going to sleep. So I don't recommend reading before going to sleep, because then you're thinking about it and you you take that into your sleep as well. I don't recommend looking at social media before going to sleep or your smartphone, because then the mind is going into that mode of thinking. So at least 30 minutes to I would recommend an hour, but at least 30 minutes to an hour before you go to bed. My humble appeal, एक नई आदत लगाइएगा. On this World Mental Health Day, start cutting off from your social media and thinking anything that makes you and impels you to think before going to bed. Keep that away. There's enough, so that's happened through the day anyways. Why add more in the evening, right? To the mind while you're going to sleep. And therefore, when you're sleeping, before you sleep, keep a cut-off time for your smartphones, for all the conversations that you have. And before going to bed, try and meditate. try and pray, chant, whatever it is, because you have to go into a state of thoughtlessness. Even for a little while, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, easy नहीं है thoughtless होना. इसलिए रोज प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा ना मेडिटेशन, आदत डालनी पड़ेगी ना दोस्तों. You have to go into that state where your mind is not thinking, you're unwinding what's happened throughout the day. And if we can do that, trust me, our sleep, the quality of our sleep, the quality of our rest will be good. And we are able to sleep like, when we are able to sleep like that, what happens is, it's going to reflect into a mental state when we are sleeping as well. When we wake up fresh. When we wake up not irritable. When we wake up, hey Rishabh, what is this? I'm not a superstar, man. I read your comment. Too kind, huh, Rishabh? I happened to just read that comment. I just had to interrupt and say I'm not a superstar. Yeah, but we definitely need to look at our sleep, and for that, meditate, chant, pray, do unwind, do whatever to get into that state of calm, preferably thoughtlessness. शांत नींद आएगी ना, मेंटल हेल्थ अच्छा रहेगा. रेगुलरली अच्छी तरह से सोते रहेंगे, उठेंगे अच्छे से, मेंटल हेल्थ स्टेबल रहेगा. And here's the last point before we, hey, Rishabh Shah again, that superstar, come on Rishabh Shah. Rishabh, you're too kind, man. But thank you for your kind words. Follow your bliss. Thank you for joining us, Insta, Vineet. Yeah, we'll probably take up a couple of sessions to learn how to meditate. Maybe we should start a couple of meditation sessions if you guys like to join. Give me a yes if you want to learn meditation. Type yes in the comments. If you want to learn meditation, we'll probably start some meditation sessions so we can all learn how to meditate, isn't it? But thank you all again. Trinath, thank you for being here with us. Rahil Majan of Sonu King 123. So happy to have you here. Mradul, oh thank you Mradul. We'll probably, yes Reds, let's do some meditation classes. Urvi, Mayur Mehta official, thank you sir. Joy for joining us. Kopuri Harsha, thank you for being with us here on Facebook. Saurav Acharya, Abhinav Chatterjee, Deepika Patange, Abhinav Chatterjee again. Thank you for being with us. Sandeep Mishra, I'm so glad that I could spend this time with all of you this evening on the occasion of Mental Health Day, talking about how our mental health can be kept robust, how we can keep our mind healthy by treating our mind like we treat our body. Won't we keep unhealthy people away? We will, so that we don't get infected. Keep people who are unhealthy for your mental health away. Won't we exercise to keep our body fit? To keep our mind fit, shouldn't we exercise? Work on your passion, work on your purpose, learn something new, channelize your mental energy to stay mentally well. Third, won't you sleep well to keep your physical body healthy? Isn't it important to also put your mind to sleep, not just your body to sleep? And the mind is not going to easily sleep. So yes, a couple of hours, half an hour, 40 minutes before you go to bed, meditate, cut off from your smartphones and anything that makes you think. And here's the last point for today. Yes, Hussein, here's your name. Hussein Umair. I've taken your name before we go to the last point. Last point, which is very important and cannot ever end without speaking about this. For physical health, the kind of food you eat, the quality of food, the quantity of food, the nutrition in that food is extremely important so that we remain physically healthy. And you should remember, as it is said, we are what we eat. Whatever we eat is not just affecting our bodies, what we eat is affecting our minds too. जो हम खाते हैं केवल हमारे शरीर को नरिश नहीं करता है, हमारे मन पर भी उसका प्रभाव पड़ता है. इसलिए तो कहते हैं ना दोस्तों, you are what you eat. मुझे ना एक बात हमेशा बहुत मेरे मन में रहती है, ये बात कि माँ है ना, माँ, our mothers, माँ का क्या है ना, if you say mom, M-O-M, mom, turn it around, it becomes wow. Mom is always a wow. It's incredible. लेकिन एक बात याद रखिए दोस्तों, माँ जो होती है ना, आप अगर कभी बीमार रहे होंगे तो माँ के हाथ का जो खाना होता है The mother feeds us. The mother, just pats us or just kind of cuddles us, caresses us. That touch is extremely healing. When a little baby is born, a lady starts lactating. Why? It's her affection. It's her love in the form of that milk that she feeds to the baby, which is so nourishing to that child, which is so nourishing to that baby. A very wholesome nourishment that the child gets. Isn't it? मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, अर्थ है ना, भूदेवी, पृथ्वी, वो भी हमारी माँ है. Mother Earth, we call her Mother Earth. Earth is like our mother, guys. Bhumata, we call her Mother Earth. And you know something? The mother provides us from within the earth. All those things that come out from Mother Earth is like the milk of a mother for a child. And the more we are in sync with nature, the more we are in sync with Mother Earth, the more we are in sync with trying to get nourishment and nutrition from what Mother Earth provides us, our mental health will be steady. Because what I mentioned earlier, you are what you eat. Food is not just for the body, food is for the mind. What we get from Mother Earth, all those things that are meant for us, is very healing. It has a very healing touch. Ask any leading nutritionists in the world today, and they'll ask us to go back to our traditional, ancient way of living and eating. All the celebrity nutritionists as well. Why? Because what Mother gives us has a healing touch, not just to our bodies, but to our minds as well. And apart from the food we eat, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ संस्कृत में इसको आहार कहते हैं. Ahar means whatever goes in. Food goes in through the mouth, but so much goes into the ears, what we are listening, so much goes through the eyes, what we are watching, so much goes through everything that we are doing, all our senses. So much content is being consumed on social media, on OTT platforms, on televisions, on the big screens. So much content is being consumed by reading articles, reading newspapers, reading books. So much is going in, guys. And like we'll be very careful about the quality and the quantity of the content that we eat to keep our bodies healthy, mind as well. We should be very careful about all the other content we consume that keeps our mind healthy as well. Keep all those things that affect our mind negatively at the bay. Entertainment is good, but if we overindulge in entertainment, especially that which makes us tremendously negative and which takes our mind out of balance, which can sometimes even make us a pervert, it is very crucial and important that we observe, monitor, moderate, regulate the quality of content we read, consume, watch, hear, because that does lead to maintaining our mental health in a good way or a bad way. And therefore, to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, like we always take care of our physical body by keeping unhealthy people away, by exercising, by sleeping, by eating right, do the same things to keep good mental health as well. Keep the unhealthy people for your mind out of the boundaries. Some right people inside, some at the bay on the boundaries, some outside the boundaries at a distance. A hi-hello relationship only. Exercise, channelize your mental energy into something constructive, into your passion, into your purpose. Make sure you sleep well, not just the body sleeping well, but how can the mind sleep well? Meditate before you go to bed. Cut off from all those things that make you think. Cut off from your smartphones, your social media before you go to bed. At least sometime before you go to bed. And last but not the least, observe, moderate, regulate the quality of content that we consume. We will consume content. We should consume right kind of content. There's no problem. Entertainment has its value. Everything has its place in our life. Just be more mindful of what you're taking in, because whatever you're taking in is definitely affecting your mental health as well. Once again, I'm so very grateful to all of you for taking your time out to join us for this Facebook and Instagram live session. We sadly could not do the YouTube live because of some glitch, but this video will be put up on YouTube as well for those who were on YouTube, wanted to be on YouTube and watch. But do share this with all of your friends. Do share with all of those people whom you think may need this. Do share it with anybody who you think will benefit out of hearing what we discussed this evening. And once again, an important word to be said and spoken. If there are serious issues, in a general case, all what we said can be done. And like I said, we'll do well with our mental health without having to go to anybody. But if we have serious issues, and I mentioned earlier, if we can't bounce back easily, we're constantly in that loop of negativity, chronically in that loop, I think we do need professional help as well. Once again, thank you all very much, Instagram and Facebook. I love all of you very much and hope to see you all very soon again to do a live session and interact with all of you, maybe even some meditation sessions. But thank you all very much. Wishing you a great evening if you're in India, and my warm greetings to anyone else, all of you who are joining from other parts of the world. Thank you all very much. Have a great evening. Thank you.